Good afternoon.
So that whole thing glitched. It totally went away, and you just popped back up. I was about to call you. Like, shoot, he's gone. So yeah, happy glitchy Thursday. My God, what I am a mess. Okay? Here's my mug.
Is that your? I can't see what it says. What's it say? It says,
Have a nice day. It
oh,
says, I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Yeah. Inside.
Oh, I see. I see your mug now. Yeah, that's funny.
And if I seem really weird, it's because on my end, my whole screen is glitchy. So I almost need to not even pay attention to my own self because I'm a mess.
So before we go very far, you want to do our fun little disclosure?
Disclaimer?
Disclaimer,
sure.
disclosure.
Disclaimer. I mean, I had it. Oh, you're gone now. I had it to put in the prompt. Basically, we are two professionals giving advice, staying within our wheelhouse of real estate. We like to talk about things peripherally, but we are not necessarily professionals in all of those places. So please listen with caution and know we are here for entertainment value mostly. And we do want to help you professionally. So here we are.
That's
good enough.
That is.
And very much paraphrasing the legal disclaimer that I had ready to go that did not go into the teleprompter.
There you go. And I'm going to read this real quick. I'm Scott. This is Rachel. And Rachel and I are both real estate professionals. We've got a background in sales and training, and one of us has a background in physical fitness. We keep the show practical and easy to follow. Each episode's about 30 minutes, and we drop real conversations about what's happening in the real estate market right now, what has happened in the real estate market, buying and selling different strategies that actually works, negotiating, pricing, how to avoid expensive mistakes, not that we've ever had any, real life stories from the field, the wins and the chaos. We don't do fluffy guru talk. We break it down. That's real. We don't do a lot of hype, but we have fun with it. And that's what you should do, is have fun with it. If you're a homeowner, buyer, or seller, or just trying to understand what the market is doing, you're in the right place with Rachel Miller. We have new episodes every Thursday. You can follow the show. And if you've got a question and you want us to cover that, message us and we'll put it on an episode. To that end, Rachel has been working diligently on getting a couple of guests lined up.
That's true.
What?
That's true.
Yes, I know. I got the emails. That's how I know it. So, Rach, we've talked a lot this week in between me falling down mountains and stepping on a shovel and stepping on a rake. And no, you cannot put that up. Yeah, I have a really cool gash on my leg from that rock. We talked a lot this week about different things happening in the market. And you and I were talking the other day and talking about how people stage their houses. Up here in this neck of the woods in Ridgecrest, we don't do a lot of staging. If we do a stage, we're like, oh, there's a chair and a blanket. Okay, we're staged. However, down there in your neck of the woods, it's a whole different ballgame. And I think we really want to go over that about staging and why it's important and the who, what, when, why, where of that.
Absolutely. And Miller, we didn't get a chance to practice me putting images up on the screen while we're live. So now I'm like, really, you like to just throw me right into the flames. Appreciate that.
Mark told me to.
Yeah. What doesn't kill makes stronger.
You say that. I say it because he's there and I'm not.
Mark is actually not here right now.
No. Well, when he gets there, you can say, Scott told me you said. Yeah.
Do that. So, yeah, one of the things that I've learned in the office that I'm in that is led and founded by Shane Haas at Gratis Homes is staging a home, if you're able to, really does make a big difference in the asking or the offer, in terms of buyers coming in and offering at least asking or more if there's multiple offers. And oh God, I totally lost my train of thought just now. Basically, it helps the house show much better. It gets people more excited about the house. When I've done open houses in homes that are empty or currently being lived in versus houses that are staged, the reaction of people coming in to look at the home it's so different. We get the oohs and the ahs and the wows, and it's staged so well that people ask, is this staged? They're not quite sure. So it doesn't look overly done or fake. It looks very comfortable, cozy, and really beautiful, and it's very inviting. And we have found in our office that if we put in a little bit extra time in the marketing and in the staging, it helps get the house sold a lot quicker. So sometimes sellers might be a little nervous about the price of staging, but oftentimes it helps bring in much more money, and the cost of the staging pays for itself.
And when it comes to that, Rachel, I don't know if it was you and I were talking. Staging with some of the homes in Los Angeles can be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000.
Yes.
In the same breath, when that money is spent on the staging, we're seeing the prices of the homes go up substantially. And a lot of times the staging, it can be permanent. When someone says, is this home staged and can the furniture stay? We say this all the time. It's real estate. Everything's negotiable.
Well, let me just say that's not always true. A lot of the times, the staging company owns the furniture and is rotated and used throughout other properties if the size and the decor matches. The only time, in my experience, and this is just for me, most of the time, if furniture goes within the offer, it's things that are owned by the seller, not necessarily the staging, because really and truly, all those things are just props. I think you shared a story how you went into a house that was staged, and the guy said, "Just whatever you do, don't throw yourself on that bed." And you were like, "Oh my God, it looks so comfy," but it was like really not a bed.
No, plywood.
So they are, a lot of it is real furniture and some of it is props. So just to kind of say, no, those things are not necessarily for sale, but it does give somebody a really good idea of how they could design it or interior design it when they move in. It gives them a good idea of what looks good in the home. And it helps people understand the scale and the size of the home. There was, I was working with a buyer over the summer who he came and saw a house 3 times. The house was empty and he really loved the house. And it was a little extraordinary because him putting in an offer it was contingent on whether or not his couch fit in the living room. And I was like, can you maybe just buy a new couch? But he didn't, so having a house stage really does help with understanding the size of the room and the scale of the room as well. Because when you walk into an empty room, you just really don't understand the scale of it. Here we go. Hi, Miller. You there?
I'm right here. La, la, la.
What are you doing?
I was downloading pictures.
You're not paying attention.
I am. I was downloading pictures so I could show staged and not stages. Because that's how I roll.
Are you done? Are you ready?
I am. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you sending pictures that I had shared with you, or did you just do like a searchy search?
I did a searchy search.
Okay. Well, let's see what you came up with.
Okay.
And also, while you're figuring that out, let's not forget that oftentimes virtual staging is happening now. So as a consumer, as a buyer, if you're going online and you're looking at, if you're using a consumer website like Zillow or Redfin and you're clicking through and you think, wow, that house is, it looks really beautiful and perfect. There's going to be a disclosure or like a watermark logo on the bottom of the picture disclaiming whether or not that picture is virtually staged. And if it is virtually staged, it is now required that the picture, if you're showing a picture, with a couch and a lamp and all that stuff, you have to show that same room without those virtual items. You just went away, Miller. What's going on?
I'm right here. La, la, la.
I'm just looking at a pretty purple screen.
Weird. I don't know why. I'm going to share screen.
So when we talk about the market, when we're talking about getting ready to sell, you and I were, here we go. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's a totally staged house.
Now, did somebody virtually stage it? That looks like somebody took a picture of how it is and then how it could be virtually staged.
There wasn't a disclosure on it. And
because there'd be no reason for them to show a before and after.
I'm going to say this is probably virtually staged. Look at the pictures in the back.
Yeah. I would love to show you the pictures I saved, but I don't know how to share it on my screen. Yeah, these are all virtually staged.
That one looks like it's real.
Maybe it looks like they updated, they painted the wall. So that is one of the suggestions. If you have paint that is kind of more to a personal taste, so one picture shows the walls are kind of like an olive green, that's very much a personal taste. If you pull that paint into something a little bit more of a clean slate, it looks like they've gotten more into like a really light gray or a sagey color. That does help the image of the home because you're not pulling in personal taste. You're giving more of a blank canvas.
The other reason I think it's real is I'm looking at the windows.
The windows, yeah, and the fireplace, and the carpet's the same. The floor is the same. If it was virtually staged, they probably would have changed the carpet. That's a beautiful home. I love the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's a really nice home.
Yeah. And especially with the homes down in the LA market and the Ventura market.
You would see a lot of that style, that pergola flooring and the ceiling, the molded ceiling, and the kitchen off of that living room. That's very much like Beverly Hills, old world Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. So when we're helping our sellers get ready to put their home on the market, I think you and I talked about one of the top 3 conversations we'll have with sellers is really like a reality check on the market. And we've talked about this multiple times last year. Oh, by the way, this is season 2, episode 2. This is January, we forgot to say it, January 8th, 2026. My God.
It is.
So the biggest thing is just having a conversation about a reality check and really making sure that you're sharing comps with your potential seller and looking at some of the things that seller can do in their home to get it ready to go on market. And it doesn't have to be big things necessarily. Fresh paint is a big one, and curb appeal is another big one. It's really helpful to get some pre-inspections done, and that can kind of help alleviate any renegotiation drama. And surprises, that's right. So, I mean, gosh, we don't how many agents get really nervous when we have to, we've got a buyer and we're coming in with an offer and the buyer's going to do some inspections, or even as a seller's agent, just not knowing how the house stands in terms of the general inspection, termite, roof, sewer, all of those things. Having pre-inspection really is very beneficial. It is a cost up front for the seller, but it can really help take the mystery out of some things for the buyers. Doing those smart improvements for your return of investment, like the paint, landscape, updating your lighting, doing minor kitchen and bathroom updates. And I say minor just to kind of clean it up, and also decluttering and taking away a lot of your personalized items. And that's where staging comes into place, because you're walking into a home that does not resemble anybody's living space. It's just looks really nice and inviting.
I'm working with somebody, Rachel. I don't think I've talked to you about this. I'm working with somebody in Sacramento that used to live here in Ridgecrest, and they're moving to Texas. I'm going to be listing their house in Sacramento with another agent in Sacramento. And I have the agent going over there to do I don't want to call it a pre-inspection, but a pre-sale walk around for Mike to figure out what he may want to do to help with the pricing of his home, whether it be paint or landscaping. I don't live there. My advertising hits up there, but I don't live there. And my friend up there, obviously she lives there. She can go up there and do a walk around with him and get to know my friend Mike as a client and say, okay, this is the things we're looking at. This is what our buyers are looking for in this market. And Rachel, you touched on something a moment ago. When it comes to the listing the prices, and I know we've beat this horse repeatedly, no offense to horses, that we all know that Zillow and Realtor and Homes.com, the buyers and sellers are all looking at that. And I mean, it's just the nature of the beast.
They're using it as a first point of reference.
Absolutely. And they're going to go in and say, well, my house says it's worth $1.5 million. It is to somebody. However, we need to really visit that and figure out if that's where people are buying. Rachel, you and I looked at a property the other day. It was $16.5 million, and it sat there for a year.
Which way? What are you talking about?
Listing,
the one in yes.
It was like
we visited that in June.
Yeah, and it's still there.
It's still there.
And I had a broker once tell me that
$16 million. I don't remember.
It may have been 14. Either way, it's a lot of money. The market's talking. The market's telling that agent who should be watching it or watching us, saying, hey, if you're not getting any traction on that, it's time to revisit it. I know everybody's house is the best house on the planet, and we want to get as much money as we can. And I'm going to say this out loud because it deserves to be said. As real estate agents, we get paid when the house gets sold, and we get paid on what the house sells for. It's in our best interest to sell it for as much as we possibly can. However, the key word in that is to sell it. And if it just sits there for $1.7 million and not moving, all it's doing is taking up space on our webpage and not doing anything.
True. And, a lot of people talk about the luxury market. The home you're speaking of is definitely in the luxury market. It's in the hills of Malibu. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's empty. And I believe that the owners are nowhere near the area. And so, there's a million things, or at least 100 things at play for as a seller's agent. The owner of that particular home may not be in any big hurry to sell it, and so they're not willing to budge on the price. A lot of times in the luxury market, people's, they've got these. Oh, are you there? Because I can't see you at all, Miller. I have a blank screen, so I'm just talking to a blank screen. So are you still there?
I'm right here.
Okay. So I hear you. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. Hello? Okay.
Hola.
So, Miller, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So oftentimes these sellers are not in a big hurry to sell these homes, and they'll put it on the market at a price that they're willing to take and just say, let's just see if somebody comes in with an offer. They may not be very emotionally connected to the fact that it sells. They may not, you know what I mean? It's like, and the luxury market is amazing, but it also can take a really long time to sell these houses that are $8 million, $10 million. There's another home out here in Westlake that's been on the market since April of last year. And I think it started out at maybe 9 million, and it's gone down a little bit. I could be wrong at that, but I know that it's sitting at 8 million right now, and it's been on the market for a while. So that's, as agents, we put a lot of time, money, and energy into marketing a home. And when it's on the market for a long time, that's just more time and more work. So we definitely, like you said, sell the house. That is our goal, sell the house. And if house is sitting and we're talking to our sellers and saying, we really need to look at the price, and the seller doesn't want to budge, our hands as agents are tied.
100%.
I don't know what's going on because my screen is completely blank. So I don't know what you're doing right now. I can't even see your face.
I was making faces at you. I'm kidding.
Dang
I wasn't making. And another one of our conversations that we've had a couple of times on the air is every place has its own luxury market.
True.
And I've said it. I've said I don't have a luxury market here in Ridgecrest. I do have a luxury market.
You do?
I do. In my opinion, the luxury market is anything over I'm going to say a substantial amount over the median price.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's the official place.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. That I just didn't know how to put it into words, and you did. So yeah, you said it right.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, it's a substantial number over the median price would qualify as a luxury market. And being down the LA and the Ventura market, you have a lot of luxury listings. People that have watched selling, selling Beverly Hills or selling Sunset. There we go, selling Sunset. Those are all luxury listings. And I do enjoy watching that show. And it appears that the owner of Selling Sunset, he doesn't like to collect listings. We all can go collect listings, but the goal is to sell those listings. And he seems to put a lot of time, money, and energy into selling those. And again, it's in a real estate. Yeah, it is keep things moving, keep things happening, and keep it in in the buyer's head, saying, "Ooh, look at this! Ooh, look at that!" Who's the other one? There's a guy in New York that has his listings, and they're luxury listings. It still makes my head explode when I'm looking at condos for $14 million. I'm like, what? What? How's that work?
Condo.
Yeah, I was like, a condo for 14. I don't get it. I have a condo over here for $150,000. So help me understand. But these are in high rises. And one of my comrades down in San Diego, David Spiewak, he sells condos, and they're in luxury high rises.
Amazing.
And I'm like, my brain, because I've not been in that industry, in that world, I would have no concept. And that goes back to having a local agent in that market that knows the area. That's super important, is to know the area and know the market. Is for me to come down there and try to sell a house in Thousand Oaks would be silly, in my opinion. I would reach out to someone that knows the area. I don't know, maybe like Rachel.
I do know the area.
You do, and you know the market, so that would be great. And for people to actually work with the people that work, live, play, and pray in those areas really makes a big difference.
Well, we are headed into the last 5 minutes of this episode number 2, season 2. And I want to segue into kind of just like a more of a conversational question, because I spent my whole morning at a coffee shop, and I had, at least 5 conversations with strangers. 3 of them were all good, good meetings that ended up being almost like, it was like, here's my business card, and yes, I can help you with that. What do you do to get yourself out of from behind your desk and go out and get out into the world and maybe meet people? What do you
Fall
do?
down mountains. Fall down mountains.
Fall down mountains.
That's how I meet SAR.
You heard it here, folks.
Where's my laptop? I have a sticker on my laptop that says, ask me about real estate.
My teammate Josh has the same.
Yep. Ask me about real estate.
I need to get one.
Especially if I'm like at Starbucks, or there's a local place here called Beansters. I'll go hang out in Beansters, and I walk in. They say, "Hey, Scott." It's kind of like being Norm on Cheers, which is weird, but they will go in and say, "Hey, how you doing, Scott?" And I'll wear an Epic T-shirt or an Epic shirt, and they're like, "What's a pick?" No, it's Epic or Epic, and we'll start talking. So, and I do a lot of community involvement. Excuse me, I do. Our Friends of the Fair, I do our fireworks, and I do a very heavy presence on social media. Do this podcast, which is kind of fun. Something I just looked up just a second ago. According to the world of internet, a stale cell, that's really hard to say, stale
cell,
is
or
about
a stale listing.
Stale listing.
Okay.
46 days plus is
Ooh.
what the internet says. Is anything over 46 days becomes stale. And
that's
when
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I just did before the show, I did a market report for, I think I included Thousand Oaks, Westlake, and Newbury Park. So it was just three cities. And for December of last year, average days on market or days to contract was 55 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know if those are necessarily stale. However, and we're creeping into a whole other topic, and maybe we can just kind of like drop it and leave. We've learned that, I think in December, the big news headline for real estate agents was that there was like 17% of listings were going to expire January 1st,
right,
nationally. And that's a huge number.
So
that means, houses that went on the market in the last quarter of the year, they really sat. It was a tough fourth quarter. The median price in those cities that I mentioned, Thousand Oaks, Westlake, and Newbury Park, the median price has gone down a little bit. It's now at $1,030,000. That's the median.
Right. So we have some higher, some lower, but the median price.
That's the definition of median.
Yeah. Just seeing clear. That road down the mountain was fun. Can you tell? Yeah. When it comes to that, and see, we're gonna talk about this, and we're just gonna drop it and come back to it. But people start discounting houses at 31 to 45 days. Like, oh, why has it been in the market so long? They could probably get it for a better deal. Oh, that's one thing to think about. That's why pricing should be set appropriately right away. When things are priced right, they will sell right away.
They will. So one of the questions is, are you in a hurry to sell? Do you want to sell your house, or do you want it to sit on the market? Because depending on how you answer that question will depend on, how we price it.
I wrote a program on ChatGPT that took me a while to get it done, but I can ask it to give me 3 prices. Let's sell it. I don't mind waiting and get a cup of coffee. It's going to be a while. And most of the time people say, let's go with the middle one. Okay, we'll go with the middle one.
The
And
median, imagine that.
yeah, imagine that weirdness. Rachel, is it next week? Is next week we
Yes.
have our guest?
You read my mind. So yes, we have a rock star representative for Choice Home Warranty coming onto our show. Her name is Tamara. And I will save the introduction of her until next week, but I have nothing but amazing things to say about her. She's an amazing woman.
We love that. And we've talked a lot about home warranties and home insurance, and she is one that will be able to explain that very well to everybody.
Yes.
So,
sounds good.
Perfect.
I still can't see you, Mr. Miller. So when we say goodbye, I don't know if you want to hang up and we're going to try and figure this out.
Yes,
or
we will.
I'll just call you.
Either way, or just hang out and see if we can fix this. But Rachel, how do people get a hold of you, Rachel?
You can email me at rachel@gratishomes.com. I also have a website, rachelmoreno.gratishomes.com. You can call me at 805-813-0664.
Awesome. You can find me at 760-264-3501, 760-264-3501, or you can find me at homeswithscottkmiller.com. Next week, today's Thursday, right? Yeah, next Thursday, we'll see you here at the same bat time, same bat channel, or if you're watching this on recording, we'll see you on the next recording. I'm Scott Miller with Epic Realty, and she is
Rachel Moreno. I'm with Gratis Homes.
Very well. Take care, everybody. Until next time, take it easy, and we shall see you soon.